You are born into a country that owns you before you can walk. North Hamgyong Province, 1990. Your father works a coal processing plant 6 days a week and brings home enough food for 4 days. Your mother fills the gap with corn porridge so watered down it's basically warm nothing in a process bowl. You eat it without complaint, because complaining is the kind of thing that gets reported. Your neighbor reported the family across the street for listening to South Korean radio once. 3 generations of them gone within a week. Nobody asked where. By 6, you've memorized the portraits. Kim Il-sung on the left wall, Kim Jong-il on the right. At school, you learn that America wants to destroy you, that the South Korean puppets want to destroy you, that you are the luckiest people on earth to have the Marshals' protection. You believe it the way you believe in cold, not because someone convinced you, but because it's just the air around you. By 12, you understand that belief isn't the right word. Belief implies a choice. What you have is performance. You say the words, make the face, stand at the right moments, and sit at the right moments. Inside, you keep a different room. You decorate it quietly. You never speak of it. The hunger gets worse in your teenage years. Your father develops a cough from the coal dust that never leaves his chest. By 17, you are watching him disappear in slow motion, and there is nothing in the entire machinery of the state that will help him. The portraits watch from the wall. They have nothing to say about it. That's when you hear about the river, the Tumen, 40 kilometers north, in some places narrow enough to cross on foot. On the other side, China. And beyond China, if you survive long enough and trust the right people, a life that doesn't feel like holding your breath indefinitely, a broker costs $13,000. You borrow from your mother, your aunt, a neighbor whose repayment terms you don't ask about yet. You pay every yuan of it. The night before you leave, your mother holds your face in both hands and looks at you the way people look at things they're memorizing. You tell her you'll be back. You both know that's not how this works. That lie sits in your chest like a stone all the way to the river. It's 3 a.m. and you're waist deep in water moving fast enough to take you sideways. The cold hits your bones before it hits your skin. The Chinese bank is maybe 40 meters ahead. You can see the outline of it. You don't look back. When you finally drag yourself out onto Chinese soil, you're shaking so hard you can't close your hands. But you're across. For exactly 7 days. The knock comes at 4 a.m. A basement in Yanji. 5 of you crammed into a room that smells of damp concrete and cigarette smoke. When the boots hit the stairs, everyone goes still in the exact same way. Not surprise, just recognition. You're handcuffed before you're fully awake. The cold air outside feels like the river all over again. China doesn't consider you a refugee. You're an illegal economic migrant. There's a difference, legally. The difference is they send refugees to safety and send you back. The train ride home takes 3 hours. The interrogation starts before you reach the border. The questions are always the same, in the same order. Did you meet any South Koreans? Did you hear foreign media? Did you try to contact anyone in South Korea? Did you meet a missionary? You learn fast that missionary is the word that ends your life. Religious contact means political threat. Political threat means kwanliso, a camp with no release date where 3 generations of your family go in alongside you. You didn't meet a missionary. You say so. 12 times. On the 4th day without sleep, when your hands won't stop shaking, and the same man is asking the same question for the 17th time, you give him the name of the broker who helped you cross. You tell yourself you had no choice, that he probably knew the risk. Every excuse sounds hollow even inside your own head. Somewhere, a person who helped you is now being looked for. That's a wound that doesn't close. He doesn't believe you about the missionary. But the broker's name was enough to end the session. The labor camp is 6 months. The woman in the bunk below you crossed 3 months before you did. Got sold to a Chinese farmer for $146. Before she made it 2 days into Jilin Province. Escaped. Got caught returning. This is her 2nd time in this camp. She is not unusual. She is the norm. You eat 300 grams of corn porridge per day. Your father ate better than this working a coal plant that was slowly killing him, and you used to think that was poverty. You get out after 6 months, 31 pounds lighter. one molar cracked from clenching during interrogations. You walk back into your apartment, and the portraits are still on the wall. Of course they are. Your mother holds your face in both hands again. You don't tell her about the broker's name. You don't tell her about the woman in the bunk below you. You let her have the version where you survived and came home. That's all you give her. Another lie dressed up as love. They assign you a surveillance officer, monthly check-ins, careful answers. Here's what this system produces. People who crossed once and swore never again, who are already calculating the cost of crossing twice. The river doesn't stop being the answer just because it failed. It just becomes a more expensive question. The Tumen is 40 kilometers north. You know exactly how cold it is. You've already started saving money. Some lies become habits. Some habits become the only way you know how to survive. You chased freedom and found a camp, a cracked tooth, and a name you gave away in the dark. But here's the thing about people who cross that river once and fail, most of them cross it again. And the ones who make it through China, through Laos, through Thailand, to Seoul, they'll tell you the river was the easy part. If you think that's brutal, click here to enter Al Capone's Chicago, where you survive 1,000 bullets, a 10-car ambush, and 2 decades of rivals trying to kill you, and still get destroyed by an accountant with a pencil.